So today we have a coffee machine that is not working. When we connect it to the power, we press the button, these lights on the front should light up and nothing happens. I will show you that just now. So it's connected, now I press the on and off and no lights at all. So let's take a look into it and see what the problem is. This machine aesthetically it looks very nice. This belongs to my mother, she gave it to me so I could try and fix it and do a video on it. So here it is. Let's start the disassembling process by removing firstly the water tank and then the drawers and the screws that we need to remove in order for the machine to be disassembled. So the screws are visible here. It's a Torx screw with a security pin. So we need security Torx to remove it. Sorry for the zooms because my phone is not working very well. The screen has an issue with the touch, which I will address when I have a new screen. So the screws are hidden beneath the rubber pads and we need to remove them to show up the Torx screws. There are 4 Torx screws and 3 Phillips screws. So we need to remove them all in order to open the machine and see what is happening inside and why is it not turning on. So let's remove the screws now. So we now shake the machine a bit so that the screws that were not loose to loosen up and be removed. So we now have 4 Torx security screws and 3 Phillips screws. So this is the insides of the machine. We need to remove the back. For that we need to take these 2 Phillips screws on top off as well. So now we can lift up the top cover to remove the back cover, which is attached to it. Let's open this little lid and pull it up and then remove the back cover by pulling it up as well. So we need to do a bit of strength over here in order to disassemble it from the back part of the machine. There we go. So now we expose all the wires that we need to address here. This back aluminum thing is the resistance where the water is heated. It's pumped through the pump from the reservoir over to the resistance. From the resistance goes to the capsule and takes out our coffee. The wires are connected with these plastic covers. So let's open this box that gives us access to the motherboard of this coffee machine. So we need to memorize the position of these wires. So black, blue, brown and 2 blues, it's the order for the machine to work. I don't know exactly what they connect to, but I would assume pump and resistance. So here apparently all the wires go into the resistance and most likely there will be some fuses here that probably have blown, and that's the reason why the machine is not turning on. So on this board I don't see any damage whatsoever. It looks very healthy. So let's then remove all these little wires and see what we can find out. So with the help of our multimeter, let's go through the basics, which is to check if the on and off switch is working. So the button, as you could see, is working perfectly, so our issue is somewhere else. So in this case, let's then remove the resistance or the heating element as it is said in English. So let's take off the screws that are behind the pump. This is held in place by 4 Phillips screws that are a bit away from reach. So with the aluminum block removed, as you can see, this little s is where the resistance is lodged in. So resistance or heating element is lodged in, that heats up the water that circulates on the other side. This is the reason why this aluminum block is sealed. We will now remove this screw to reveal what is here, which is a fuse. So this is one of the fuses. There's another one on the bottom that you cannot see on screen right now. But let's test this one out to see what happens here, if it works or not. Not sure if you can read the inscriptions on it, but it's a 10 amp fuse with 157 degrees. So it's a temperature fuse. So let's give it a shot and see if it works. And it does not beep at all. So this is most likely the culprit for the machine not working. So let's now remove it from its assembly. I will use a knife here to enlarge this connection that it has, so I'm able to remove it. Beware of your fingers if you do this. I'm sure there are safer options, but I don't have any tools to do that. damaged fuse, and we can now see better what's written on it. It's a 157 degree fuse, so it probably went over this temperature and it blew. So I've bought a few of them, and this was almost €2, so basically nothing to fix this machine. So these fuses are available on AliExpress if you want to buy them. I'll leave a link for them. So they are 10 amp, 157 degrees, so they are exactly what we need to replace to see if this is the issue on the machine. So let's take this one out, it doesn't work, and test this one to see if it still works. So it's working fine, so let's then place it where the other one was before. Unfortunately, my phone did not record the video where I was placing the fuse in place, so apologies for that. Let's then put the heating element back in place with the 4 screws that we have here behind this pump. So here, the final test, let's connect it to power press the on and off button and we have lights. So we've saved this machine from trash because one fuse was blown, fuse that costs nearly 10 cents. So now let's test the machine. Unfortunately, I do not have capsules at my house because I don't use capsule coffee. So let's have it heat up. When it stops blinking, it is working. So let's take hot water, a cup full of hot water, and see if it is really hot or not. So water is running, vapor is coming out. That indicates that the water is very hot. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a subscription on the channel, and you know now, if you have a machine, a coffee machine that doesn't work, probably the cause is just a fuse that costs 10 cents and you would be throwing away one perfectly good machine when you can repair it for 10 cents. So guys, hope you enjoyed. See you then on the next video.